Pandas is a vast library of data wrangling tools, but all of those tools are centered around two fundamental data structures: series and data frame. If you imagine a table of data, you can think of each column as a series and the structured collection of every column as a data frame. Now, if you know NumPy, you might be wondering, what's the difference between a series and a NumPy 1D array? After all, they both represent a one-dimensional set of values. And in fact, Pandas series actually stores data using a NumPy array. The difference lies in the additional functionality that series has. You can think of a series as a souped-up version of a NumPy 1D array. You'll see what I mean as we go through the course, but to get started, we need to learn how to make a series from scratch. So that'll be the focus of this video. Before we do anything, we need to install and import Pandas. The easiest way to install it is with pip, so pip install pandas. If you're using Google Colab like me, you would use !pip install pandas, except it's already installed by default, so you don't even need to do that. Once it's installed, we need to import it. The common convention is to import pandas as PD. The easiest way to make a series is from a list, just like making a NumPy array. For example, here we say x equals pd.series, open parens, and then pass in a list of numbers. If we print the series, we get back something like this. Notice how it already looks a bit different than a NumPy array. See that first column of values? That's called the series index, and you can use it to access the series elements in creative and meaningful ways. More on that a bit later. Also notice the output includes dtype int64, which tells us the data type of the elements in the series. Just like a NumPy array, each element in a series must be of the same size and type. You can have a series of ints, a series of floats, and a series of strings, but you can't have a series of ints, floats, and strings together. You can use Python's type function to check that x is indeed a series object. But if you want to check the internal data type of the series elements without printing the whole series, you can use the .dtype attribute, like x.dtype. And here you can see we're storing 64-bit integers. If you wanted to access the underlying NumPy array, you can use the .toNumPy method. You might also see people using the .values attribute here, but this technique is deprecated and not recommended. You can also use the highly popular head and tail methods to pick out the first and last 5 elements of the series. For example, x.head returns the first 5 elements, while x.tail returns the last 5 elements. And if you wanted to pick out the first 3 elements, you would just do x.head open parens 3. Another way you can make a series is from a Python dictionary like this. In this case, Pandas uses the dictionary keys for the series index and the dictionary values for the series values. Again, we'll cover the index and its purpose shortly. For now, just know it's a thing. Also notice, in the first example, we created a series of integers, but in this example, we appended each value with a decimal, so we got back a series of floats. If we wanted to make a series of strings, we could do that too with something like z equals pd.series, open parens, and then pass in a list of strings. If we print z, notice the dtype is listed as object. I'll explain why that's so cryptic in a future video, but in the meantime, I want to show you the newer and probably better way to create a series of strings. If we modify this statement by explicitly setting dtype equals string, now when we print z, it lists the dtype as string. Again, I'm sweeping a lot under the rug here, but we'll cover these things in a future video. Now, you might be wondering how I knew the series function included a parameter for dtype. Let's hop over to Google and just do a search for pandas series. If we click on the first link, we can see the full function signature for the series function, which includes parameters for data, index, dtype, and some other things. So this is usually the first place to look when you want to learn or have questions about a function. So far, we've seen how you can make a series from a list and a dictionary, but perhaps the most powerful way to make a series from scratch is to make it from a NumPy array. Before we do that, we need to import NumPy. So we'll import NumPy as int p, and then import pandas as PD. So now if we create a NumPy array like x equals np.array open parens list 10, 20, 30, 40, we can convert it to a series just by wrapping x in pd.series. So why is this so powerful? Well, suppose you wanted to make a complex series from scratch, like an unusual sequence of floats or a random sample of values from a normal distribution. The somewhat lame but practical way to do this is to use NumPy. NumPy has lots of great tools for making arrays from scratch, and we've already seen how you can wrap them into a series. So, for example, we could make a series with 10 evenly spaced values between 1 and 2 using the np.linspace function, passing in start, stop, and num parameters, and then just wrapping the resulting NumPy array with pd.series. Similarly, we could make a series of standard normal random values using NumPy's np.random.normal function and wrapping that result with pd.series. So if you can't see where this is going, one of the keys to mastering Pandas is actually to master NumPy, since most of Pandas is built on top of it. And if you don't feel good about your NumPy skills, lucky for you, I happen to have a course on that too, called Python NumPy for Your Grandma. I'll drop a link to it in the description.